Well, I'm a little late doing this today. It's actually afternoon, but regardless, I'm going to do my expressive mumbling now. And yesterday was a really interesting experience for me because I had a lot of feelings of overwhelm and fear, and it's funny how this crops up for me. So, we're talking about launching our next round of masterminds, and super excited. We've got like just a revolutionary sorry, I muted myself there. Revolutionary curriculum, because we've taken everything we've learned and we just keep evolving it, and we keep experimenting and we keep incorporating new things, and it's phenomenal, right? And we've got this idea. And I mean, I won't go into all the details right now because it's not fully fleshed out, but working with some good friends to really create a movement to elevate fatherhood. And it scares the shit out of me in some ways. Now, I'm not going to let it stop me. Okay. I want to be really clear about that because I just won't, because I know that fear is, something that I typically charge headlong right into, but it still causes me pause. So we brainstormed some really good ideas yesterday, and I noticed that as I'm talking about it, I'm having like these fear-based responses. What if this happens? We can't do that. But I'm catching myself right when I'm saying them, right? And I know it's fucking bullshit. Like, I get that. But it's amazing how those emotions still show up. And maybe they will continue to show up for as long as I live. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But, as we had a mastermind call last night, that was pretty powerful. I think it was very moving for the guys in the call. I know it certainly was for me. But I had this feeling during the call of unease. Like, I don't really know how to describe it. And then I got into bed, and I always have a hard time sleeping after the mastermind calls because I typically feel very, jacked up and alive and like energized. But this one was, I think, a combination of unease just because I put so much pressure on myself to really create a truly transformative experience. And I honestly, I feel a lot of times like I fail at it. And so I was laying in bed with Tanya, and I was like, my brain was fried. I mean, I didn't really want to talk about it. It's not that I was trying to keep it in. It was that I just didn't really, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I just really want to go to bed because I knew I got to get up in the morning and stuff. So, I mean, she was super supportive, which I always appreciate. But yeah, I woke up and I felt better. And I guess the most important thing, though, is that those feelings were very powerful. And it's like, maybe it's the way I'm wired, reading the book Driven. Maybe I'm never satisfied. Like I was talking in the mastermind call about how even though I can participate and help create like life-changing experiences for guys, like that would have been unfucking imaginable just not that long ago. As soon as it's over, so we get back on Sunday, go to bed early on Sunday, wake up Monday morning, reconnect with my family, wake up Monday morning, open my eyes, like, oh God, now what? Now what? Fuck, that's over. Back to reality. What am I going to do next? Yada, yada, yada. Like, I do not give myself any time to enjoy it. I enjoy it in the moment profoundly, and I'm sure that I will appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I'm not saying that I don't, but I just feel this immediate pressure to determine what's next and to up my game and push forward. And I'm usually okay at laughing at myself because I do think that this is partially how I'm wired. And I don't know that I want to fight it because, fuck, it drives me forward. Like it really does. And I think being able to try to laugh at it and recognize the emotions for what they are and trying to try to laugh at it just makes it okay, because I don't know. But then I think, what is enjoying, then I ask myself sometimes, what is enjoying something even supposed to look like? Like, I enjoy my family, deeply, deeply enjoy my family. And I never have these feelings around them. Like, oh, how can I up my game as a father? This is actually interesting now that I'm saying this out loud. Why do I feel like that with them? I actually feel like I'm doing a phenomenal job as a father, and that each new experience, as the kids grow up and new situations come up, will be a learning opportunity for me. And I'm totally comfortable that I might not handle everything right, but I'll handle it the best I can, and I'll learn from it. And it seems to be working. My kids are great, happy, humble, kind. As a father, I couldn't really wish for anything else. So, but I do not do that for myself in any other part of my life. Why is that, I wonder? This is the benefit of expressive writing. Why is that? I don't know if I have the answer right now, but I think that's something that I need to reflect on as I take this pregnant pause. Yeah. Why is that? I mean, maybe it's because I am comfortable. Maybe it's because I am comfortable with my family, like in the sense that there are no more people to impact my family. It's just the four of us. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's going to grow anytime. I mean, needless to say, I've been snipped, but maybe the reason I put this pressure on myself is that I know that with my voice and my passion, that I can profoundly impact the lives of like a shitload of people. And I've already done that. Like, I mean, I had this experience at the Dad Edge Summit where a bunch of people came up to me and were like, man, your name has come up a lot. And, do you know how many roads lead back to you and all that kind of stuff? And it was super amazing to hear. And I actually didn't know how to think about it. I don't think it caused any egoic reaction to me. Maybe it did. Maybe I'm just saying that. But like, I just felt, because what I was actually thinking was, fuck, that's amazing. How can I do more of that? Like, actually, maybe it didn't cause a reaction like that. It's just, I feel that's so great. Like that the things I say and the things I'm learning and the things I do are helpful to other people. And, oh God, how can I do more of that? What can I learn? Who can I connect with? Maybe I'm comparing myself to other people that have bigger platforms. I mean, they obviously didn't grow them overnight. Why do I even want a bigger platform? Why am I not satisfied with, what I've already done? I don't know. I don't know the answer to all those questions, but I think when I compare my family to, say, the idea of elevating fatherhood, it's that I know I just scrape the very surface of what's possible. But at the same time, am I satisfied with my contribution? It's a great question. No, I'm not. I'm not fucking satisfied with my contribution because I can help more people. And I don't know how to reconcile that with being content and pushing forward. In fact, I was having this conversation with a guy in the Dad Edge Alliance a little bit. I got to get him on the show because I would love him to talk. I would love to talk through this with him because maybe I'm more like him than I was thinking I am. What would happen if I let myself be content? And can you be content? Can I be content while still pushing forward like a motherfucker? Are those two ideas even reconcilable? I don't really know the answer at all. But it's something I think I want to explore because I know that the feelings I have, I don't know where they come from. And I think the fear comes from, where does the fear come from? Because I do believe in myself. Like I actually believe in this is such a ramble. I do believe in my ability to influence the world on a massive scale, but am I afraid of what that would look like? Or do I believe I can do it, but fear I don't understand how to create the path to get there? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like, so for example, and I say this with humility, like, but I could see myself standing on a stage in front of thousands of people. Like, it's not hard for me to imagine that. But maybe what I'm scared of is I don't know how to fucking get there. But I think the evidence shows that I'm already, and not that that needs to be the destination. I was just using that as an example, but I think the evidence has already shown that I am moving in that direction. Maybe. Or some direction that's like related to growing my platform. Anyways, fuck me. I'm confused as hell right now. But how can I be, is it possible to be content with where you're at in this moment and still pushing forward like a boss? Yes, it must be, because I mean, that's what being present is all about. And that is what, when you talk about, that's one of the reasons that people meditate, right? Is to reality check and to understand that I'm safe in this moment and I'm perfectly okay in this moment. But it doesn't mean this version of me has to be the same version of me. I actually don't understand some of these concepts. I cannot wrap my head around the idea of safety in the moment. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, obviously I'm safe, but if I'm sitting here telling myself I'm safe in the moment and a boulder's rolling down the hill behind me, ready to flatten me, I'm safe in the moment till I get fucking crushed. So I don't actually know how to think about that. But the point is, like, if I'm sitting in my living room and I'm safe, then I can reality check the feelings I'm having in my body or my thoughts, with my surroundings. I mean, where am I going with this? Where am I going with this? So, oh yeah. So in that sense, if I do that, I'm able to be content for a moment, in the moment, for a moment. How do I reconcile that? This is something that I really need to think about. So I feel like I might wrap this podcast up because I feel like I'm completely rambling. And it's not really about it being a podcast. It's about me just barfing my fucking thoughts out on paper. But I know that there's so much of this stuff that, despite the things that I'm doing and the people that I've helped, I know this is the stuff that holds me back. So when I think about moving forward and growing a platform and helping more people, maybe what I'm afraid of is not being able to figure out how to resolve these thoughts that I know are I guess holding me back or preventing me from moving forward as quickly as possible. Maybe. So that all being said, I was feeling quite overwhelmed and unsettled last night when I went to bed. So when I woke up this morning, I felt okay. I felt better, and I feel better now. But just sitting with those emotions, I was actually having a hard time just sitting with those emotions because I was actually judging myself. I don't normally do this very often anymore, actually. But I was judging myself a little bit last night, and not judging myself for feeling the emotions, judging myself for not really being very effective at just observing the emotions without telling myself stories about them. That it's like, I got this beautiful wife. I just got off this amazing mastermind call. We just got off this summit. Why the fuck am I feeling this way? And not compassionately inquiring, like, God, I wonder why I'm feeling this way. Because I just didn't feel like doing that. I was annoyed with myself, but at the same time being fully aware of what I'm doing and just saying fuck it and doing it anyway. So, I mean, that's all part of the journey too, right? We all know what we're supposed to be doing. Most of us, especially those of us who have defined their core values, know how to make values aligned choices. And I teach guys this stuff all the time. And I don't do it right. I don't do it perfectly all the time, but I'm learning and I'm continuing to grow. So last night was one of those moments where, in that particular moment, I just said, fuck it. I don't want to be all like Zen and shit right now and, practice what I preach. I just don't feel like it. And I think that's okay. Because I got back on the horse this morning and I learned from that experience. And I think what I learned is that, what did I learn? Maybe I didn't learn shit yet. Maybe it's got to happen again. But I feel like what I learned was it's okay. It is really okay to feel that way. And I think it's okay that I got annoyed with myself, because you can see how you could go down this total rabbit hole of, I feel like overwhelmed and I feel fearful and I'm annoyed with myself and then I'm fucking annoyed that I'm annoyed with myself. And like, it never, ever ends. Right. So, I mean, maybe ideally is a terrible word, but I think where I've gotten to is that most of the time I'm getting much, much better at observing my emotions. And there's times when I judge them, like last night. But last night I was able to cut that rabbit hole, like cut that spiral downward descent by saying, okay, I'm feeling these emotions, I'm judging them, and I'm okay with the fact that I'm judging them, and I'll fucking try to figure it out tomorrow. So maybe that's okay too. Of course it's okay. It's all really okay. The only one that would really judge it is me. And I'm just so grateful that my wife is there too. I didn't ramble like this to her. But sometimes I do. Sometimes I do ramble like that to her. And she's really, really good about it. And it just, yeah. So what it all means is we have a business to grow and I'm super pumped about it. And we're going to start launching some new masterminds. And this isn't a sales thing, by the way, at all. It's just, and I'm going to confront these feelings again. And I think one of the things that causes me to feel overwhelmed is that I'm not very good, like my attention to detail is not very good sometimes. So sometimes when I'm discussing ideas, like the first pass of the ideas, I have a really hard time wrapping my head around ideas. I have to think about them a lot of the times. Sometimes I'm great at it actually. But anyways, So I think that maybe caused me to overwhelm. Oh my God, there's all these different fucking moving parts we got to do, and I'm having a hard time following it in this conversation. What does that mean? But really, I know that I need to think about things and ponder them and reflect on them, and that's actually a strength of mine. So is that because I do spend a lot of time thinking deeply about it. And I think I'm getting to be a more productive thinker in the sense that when I'm getting better at removing judgments and shit like that. So, fuck, you know what? I am so sick of talking right now. I didn't quite make it to 20 minutes, but wow, I feel better, but I am super sick of hearing the sound of my own voice. So I am going to sign this off. Have a great day, everyone.